Hi, Liza. Hi, Barb Olson. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Kelly Schweingart. How are you? I'm glad you could catch the live. Let's see. Here we go, everybody. Let me just get to the YouTube. So, there were some technical difficulties. I think it was on my end. It was very difficult for me to watch this trial today, but I did manage to catch it here and there on the phone and on the to and from when I went to vote. And they had their friends on, and they had body cam from the night at the restaurant on, and that guy too, that they had the friend say, you know, that she didn't know that guy. None of them knew that guy. The one that apparently she thought he thought she danced with, and that caused this whole thing to happen. And also that the police body cam, and that he could have bled to death, right? So let me just go through some of this stuff that. And you know what? I was surprised. She is much smaller framed in the body cam than they did on the pictures that they had released of her. So yeah, she was in a red shirt, and was very small and small frame. Okay, so this is the second day of testimony. The jury was shown that dramatic body camera video from after the murder of his girlfriend, Kay Baker. After midnight on May 28th, video shows Hillsborough County deputies with guns drawn entering the Lithia home of Kay Baker. Once inside, deputies discover a bloody crime scene, and they go room by room looking for victims and a possible assailant. Deputies found a locked room. That was that room that they believe she locked from the inside and then jumped out of, pushed the screen out in an attempt to flee, right? And then was captured and killed. Once they knocked the door down, nobody was there. Outside, a deputy's flashlight illuminated a bloody trail that led to the lifeless body of Baker. Prosecutors said her live-in boyfriend Terry killed her during a jealous rage after accusing her of dancing with another man at a bar. Prosecutor Justin Diaz said the elementary school teacher was stabbed repeatedly, and she was nearly decapitated because he sliced her right across the front of her neck. Kay was lying face down on the ground in the yard of her neighbor. Not far away, another dramatic scene was playing out. The body cam video showed bloodhounds tracking a bloody Terry hiding in a wooded area. Hillsborough deputy and canine handler Brian Polito was part of the search, and he took the stand. He said, "I felt pretty certain the person that was losing that blood was nearby." The defense claimed that the video also shows that there was a rush to judgment in the case. They said after Terry was caught with cuts to his neck, the search for the real killer ended. However, prosecutors contend that Terry cut himself during the suicide attempt after the murder. And like I said, they had their friends there. Let me see some more stuff here for you. But he was more cocky today in court. And what I saw was yesterday he was emotional, especially when the husband of the female friend took the stand. He got like very cocky. They really focused in on his face, and he held his head up, and like you could just see like he was smirking, pretty arrogant looking, I would say, to see if, I don't know, that. Hey, Nana T, thank you. Thanks so much, Nana T, appreciate that. So he was like cocky, really cocky, and smug, and just saw a different part of him today. And hi, Vicky. Hello, Scooter. Hi, Debbie L. Hi, Whitney Geddes. How are you? How are you? Oh, let me get into live chat. So I don't know if you saw it and you noticed that little change in him. I did notice a change in him. If anybody else saw that, you can feel free to put that in there. But okay, let me see what else now about the friends that testified. And I will try to get us all the discovery on this case so that we can watch it all and everything. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Oh, you know what I keep doing? This thing here. It's so crazy. Okay. I don't know what the heck happened here. I had my stuff here. Okay, let me just get. Like I said, I think they're saying that this is going to wrap up this week. I find this kind of odd. The jury was shown. So really, it was a lot of video today. The body cam video from the officers, and then that video from the bar, where they show him walking in, and where they also show the body cam apprehending him. And like I said, I will get that video and all that stuff. I'm going to see if I can get. Oh, the friends talked about how he moved from Michigan, and that's where Kay Baker is from, and he moved there. He moved in with the kids. That the two friends that were with them at the restaurant bar that night, they're married, and they would see them probably at least once a week, and they asked if he acted, if he did anything buddy-buddy with the husband, and he, not really, just, they would mostly do things, either double dates kind of things, or come to the house with the kids, and their kids play together, so play dates and this and that, see him in that type of way. But remember that, Matthew Terry was convicted in Michigan in 2017 for their similar attack on another girlfriend. Let me see if I can get the information on that. Okay, look at this. Let's look at this now, because this is interesting. Let me put this up here. Okay. So he was released from jail in Ingham County after the Michigan Parole Board overruled efforts by prosecutor Carol Seaman to require stricter oversight. The Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is holding Matthew Terry, 47, while it prepares a murder case against him. This is back in June, right after the murder, June 2nd. The murder happened on May 28th. This is from June 2nd, what I'm going to talk to you about now, okay? Officials allege that Matthew Terry argued with Kay Baker at a bar on Saturday and then killed her. Kay Baker received numerous stab wounds to her upper torso, and then, of course, that slice that nearly decapitated her across the front of her neck. In July 2020, as the parole board was preparing to release Terry on parole after his 2017 conviction for assault with intent to do great bodily harm, Seaman sent a letter asking for a 2-year parole period with stricter oversight for Matthew Terry. The reason? Because his attack nearly killed his victim, his then girlfriend, she was stabbed repeatedly and struck numerous times. She spent 5 days in intensive care. And this is, let me pull this over. Here is a letter from her. Okay, dated June 10th, 2020. And it was literally 2 years later, right, that he kills his then girlfriend. And she wrote this to the Michigan Parole Board, the chief, the prosecuting attorney here. Said, I'm writing concerning this pending parole service of inmate Matthew Terry, and then she gives his number. Mr. Terry is set to be paroled and undergo re-entry and parole in September. It's my belief that this offender and the public would benefit from an enhanced level of supervision relative to what typical parolee would receive. It's my hope that he be assigned 2 full years of parole rather than 1. It is standard practice that parolees are provided a list of conditions, as you're aware. In a case like this that would involve abstaining from drugs, alcohol, no contact with the victim, no criminal behavior, it's my hope these conditions can be supervised more closely than your average offender, given Mr. Terry's history. Matthew Terry has multiple alcohol-related offenses and also numerous assaultive offenses. In the most recent case for which he is now incarcerated, he was intoxicated and repeatedly bludgeoned, stabbed, and punched a girlfriend numerous times. We went to trial on assault with intent to commit murder, and the jury convicted only for great bodily harm. Nevertheless, I believe it's fair to consider all of the evidence and conduct while he is under supervision. The injuries were found to be potentially life-threatening, and this offender was fortunate to have a resilient victim and a sympathetic jury. The victim on this case has expressed concern that the offender is a psychopath with a history of abusive behavior. We believe she is right to be concerned and ask that Mr. Terry be fitted with a GPS tether that prevents any further contact with his past victim. Re-entry programming with adequate supervision will increase the chances that Mr. Terry will not recidivate. A GPS would hopefully keep him away from a past victim, but wouldn't keep him from new abusive relationships. Wow, right? We see all too often with domestic abusers that they have serial relationships, each abusive. It's our hope that we can break this pattern and that Mr. Terry will join the ranks of those who successfully complete MD, OC parole, and re-entry programming. So, yeah, she kind of called it, right? She did 100% call it. Why the parole board denied the extra supervision and longer parole term is an unanswered question right now. A state corrections department spokesperson said he was reviewing the case for answers. So let's look a little bit further into okay. Okay, you see with this, let me pull this picture up. This is when he was arrested, and you'll see he had those wounds there in his neck. Now, he was a former Marine, okay? So we know they were at a bar and grill during the time, we went over this yesterday, that they were there. Kay Baker got up to use the restroom, and then she passed her friend, and they did like a little dance, and they did a hug, and then this unknown guy came by, and he just kind of like walked past them, put his arms up, and like, you know, like shimmied and danced a little bit, just, you know, just engaged with them a little bit, but just like lightheartedly. It wasn't that he knew them or anything like that. But Matthew Terry saw this because he was coming out of the men's room and he just couldn't let it go. And Kay Baker was calling the friend on the way home and said, please tell him I wasn't dancing with another man. And her friend said that she could hear her tell Matthew Terry to quit being stupid. And then Kay Baker sent her last text at 11:56 p.m. and said, LOL, sorry for that, so dumb, all good now. About 30 minutes later, the neighbors Jonathan and Ruth Figgins found Baker, dying in their yard. Let's see here. Kay Baker's a mother of two, was just 43 years old when she was murdered. And the court, and this is the one thing though, the court hasn't heard about any of Matthew Terry's past convictions, including, and most importantly, the attack on his prior girlfriend, right? And they're still waiting to see if that's going to be admissible. Kind of crazy, right? Matthew Terry had previously dated Kay Baker when he was in Michigan. The pair reconnected during his 2017 trial for the attempts to cause bodily harm. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking about Michelle. Let me get to Michelle. Her name was Michelle Rogers. And we're going to look her up and see what we can find out. His then girlfriend, Michelle Rogers, after he stabbed her 7 times in the neck and banged her head on the floor, he broke her nose and he slashed her face. Michelle said that Terry had previously dated Kay Baker when he was in Michigan. She said the pair only reconnected during his 2017 trial for the attempts to cause great bodily harm to her. The court has not heard about his past convictions. That led to Rogers being hospitalized for 5 days. If he's found guilty, it may be that prosecutors use that information during a sentencing hearing when they would push for the death penalty. Okay, so let's check that out. Michelle Rogers. Let's see that, if we can find out anything more about what went on there and how and why would Kay Baker even get with him, right? Let me put him in here. Okay. Michelle Rogers said she started dating Matthew Terry in 2015, and they had a child together. She also said that Terry seemed like a nice guy when she first met him. He comes across as a very normal, caring person, she said. He had a very likable personality, and he could get people to believe pretty much anything he wanted them to. That was a trait that Michelle Rogers says scares her now. When I found out what happened to Kay Baker, my heart fell to the floor. Michelle said that, hold on, my thing is here. That Matthew Terry lived in the Tampa Bay area in 2020 after he was released from prison in Michigan. He served time for hurting her in 2017 and attempting to kill her, she said. He was charged with assault with intent to do great bodily harm. Those details from that incident are too gruesome for Michelle to recall, as she described it as a similar situation with Kay Baker. The Hillsborough County deputies described the crime scene in Lithia as horrific. Although the news was shocking, I knew all along it would happen because of what had happened to me, she said. Michelle also said she fought to keep Matthew Terry in jail, but after 3 years he was released, and 5 months later he was accused of murdering her. Baker. Wow, 5 months later. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. After 3 years, he was released. 5 months later, he was accused of killing her. Wow. I didn't realize it was that close. That's crazy. Michelle also said, I think in this case, it does warrant the option for the death penalty for the jury to choose. The suspended Hillsborough State Attorney Andrew Warren previously said he wasn't going to seek the death penalty for Terry because that was what the Baker family wanted. My heart goes out to Kay and her family. My decision to seek life in prison was based in large part on my conversations with Kay's parents, who wanted to see the defendant locked up for the rest of his life as quickly as possible, without the extensive delays and appeals that come from seeking the death penalty, he said in a statement. It's a shame the governor's political stunt may delay the justice they deserve, especially if they weren't consulted before the decision was changed. Susan Lopez, who is stepping into the role as the Hillsborough State Attorney, said that she will be seeking the death penalty for Matthew Terry. That is unbelievable. Okay, so we have okay, so let me see now. Let's see if this is. Let me see if this is the. This would not be that case. No, of course not. Okay. So, let me see. Maybe this is. Just trying to see if I could find the original. Excuse me?
Benny?
Okay, let me see. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not seeing. Let me see. Let me go back to. Where's her? Where is her? Let's see what we get here. Nurse's decision in capital case. That's that. Ex-girlfriend. Okay, let's look at this. We might have something here. So, let's see. So it was Kay Baker's last day of school. That's when they went to that restaurant. The third grade math and science teacher at Cypress Creek Elementary in Ruskin had gone to a bar that night with her boyfriend Matthew Terry. I saw you dancing with that guy, Terry said angrily before they left for home in a Lithia subdivision at about 11:30 p.m. on May 27th. An hour later, Baker was dead. The neighbor who heard her screams found her body in his yard. The 43-year-old mother of two had been stabbed multiple times in the neck. The deep wounds indicated someone tried to sever her head, police said. The Hillsborough Sheriff deputies discovered a knife was missing from the kitchen butcher block. They never found that knife at all. They found Terry, 47, hiding in nearby bushes, wearing a t-shirt and underwear that were soaked in blood. A grand jury indicted him on a charge of first-degree murder in June, and the Hillsborough State Attorney's Office is considering whether to seek the death penalty, which, of course, now the first prosecutor was not, then someone else stepped in, and now they are. Let's see. 5 years earlier, it was Michelle Rogers who was lying on a neighbor's lawn. So she was lying on a neighbor's lawn. I'm wondering what the circumstances were on that one. Her blood mingling with Michigan snow. Terry had bitten, beaten, and stabbed her multiple times, leaving the mother of his child in intensive care for 5 days. So they had a child together. It was as close to homicide as you could get without it being a homicide, said the Lansing police detective Matthew Crumbach. After Terry was charged with attempted murder, the lawyer argued that his client acted in self-defense and called Rogers' testimony an impossible and implausible story. If he gets out, I fear for myself and my family and for his next victim, Michelle pleaded in a 2020 letter to the Michigan Parole Board. Society is in danger, but Terry did get out after serving 3 years on a reduced charge. He was discharged in December and moved to Florida to be with Baker, an ex-girlfriend he reconnected with while awaiting trial. So she was aware. She was aware of all of this. Wow. Baker took Terry's side and testified for him in court. Oh my goodness. He is very truthful and I trust him completely, she told the judge, according to the court transcripts. Rogers said that she warned Baker that the man she was dating and defending was a monster. During the trial, she sent Baker a photo of her stab wounds on a Facebook Messenger, along with an imploring message. It's crazy. So she knew, she testified for him, and that's something, huh? Did you guys know that she testified for him? Hi, Vicky. Scary that she would trust him. Yeah. Hi, Julie W. Insisted of reading the case files. They didn't have to deal with any crime scenes. What was that, Vicky? Debbie L. Let's see what else we have. Would be interesting if we could let's see. No, that's the wrong. Yeah, again, this is, let's see, this was dated, yeah, July 10th, 2020. That's why I thought he was released much. So, let me just see something. Okay. Let's see. Can you please lower that? Thank you.
This.
The TV.
This.
I don't know what it is. What is that?
Like a tree, that fruit, one of the tree salad things with cabbage in it.
Oh. No, I just got put on that page. I'm sorry that it's taking me. I was trying to find something. Okay, here's something because I'm trying to find an actual, something right from then, not something that was written about now in hindsight. I want to see something that's actually talked about. So I found something. Let me see what this one is like. Okay, so okay. So, prosecutor looks to commute certain life prison sentences. This is. Let's make this a little larger. Okay, and this is about. It's an article about Carol Simeon, and let's see. I think it says something about second chances. And is he mentioned in here? Just scanning this. She had said, "While I personally believe there are some people who should be in prison forever, like the Jeffrey Dahmer type of people, I just don't believe in the death penalty. I think life in prison without parole functions in a similar way, and I think everyone should have an opportunity to be able to get out someday." Nobody else is doing this type of thing. So this is weird. After Seaman took office in 2017, she enacted policy to always offer defendants, even those accused of the most heinous crimes, a chance to plead guilty to a lesser charge like second-degree murder. Her goal was to eliminate the possibility of life in prison without parole, instead putting prisoners before a review board within a few decades. Other prosecutors before Seaman weren't as lenient, and defendants don't always take the deal before pushing the case to a trial, but that doesn't mean some of them don't deserve another shot at freedom, Simon insisted. Okay, so this is not about him there, so let's see. Okay, let me just. So weird. Okay, so I'm just not. I didn't have enough time today to look. I don't know, but we can go back into that in case I can check out other stuff. But let's just see. Getting it. Okay, prosecutor insists. Okay. So what was his, what did he do? Because he had only been released 5 months. What was he doing? Was that the second day? Okay. That's not, let's see. Okay, so I guess, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they'll admit it, but like, when they say he, I just don't understand how she was, how she went with him with that. Like, what did she think that he told her? Like, she's crazy. She came after me. And she testified. I don't know. That's so weird that she testified. Okay, let's see what happened here. 6. Sean Andrews, those were the people that they went to the bar with. Sean and Kelly Andrews. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. Sorry, guys. I thought I had stuff right here, but so what's on tap for tomorrow? Let me see if we know tomorrow's witnesses. All right. Yeah, that was like they had also some law enforcement on again about the body cams that they showed, and again I'm going to get those, and then we can put them up and watch them together. I just have to put I did put my request in. I'm always like in the middle of 20,000 things. Today's been a crazy day, but I will get them, and so we can put them up. But anybody in the chat, does anybody want to call in and talk about this case if you watched it? Hi, I'll hurt my wise. Kate fell into her own demise through his charm and manipulation. Yeah, enough so that she thought that whatever he did to that woman was warranted in self-defense, and that, I don't know. Just crazy, right? Hi, Pamela Patrick. Hi, Robbity Bob. Good night, Debbie L. Hi, Lisa L. Yeah, if somebody wants to talk about the case, you can email me for the number. We have, like at least probably like 20 minutes before the next live about the other cases in the news. If you watch the trial and you want to talk about it, please call in.
I can't get over how he was able to do this. What, three and a half years or he got, and then 5 months later?
Yeah, 5 months later, it's crazy.
Why was, like, the psych evaluations, post coming out of the forces?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't understand. I didn't even realize that it was that close, that it was only 5 months and he got out. That's crazy.
Did you have to put on the pie in the refrigerator?
Yeah, no.
Huh?
And
No.
how that girl, the last lass, I'm lost on names because my head's been with the kids, but that last lass even went with him. Like they became a couple.
Oh, are you talking? Wait, I'm lost.
Okay, so the first one he already was in prison for
Right,
3.5 years.
yes.
And then
he reconnected with a former girlfriend, and then she believed him and testified.
I know.
She testified for him, and then she waited while he was in prison. And then when he got released, he moved down from Michigan to her.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, so.
They got 2 hours delay tomorrow, so that's why.
Yeah.
He looked pretty arrogant looking to me.
He did today. He did yesterday. He was crying with the 911 call, but today, when that guy came on the stand, he was especially arrogant. I noticed.
Yeah, he's smiling at the cop.
I wonder if he's medicated in prison.
I don't know. I don't know. It's just I don't know who they're going to have on tomorrow, and they may end up, if they're expecting this to last a week, they may rest their case tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not sure how much more they need to show. It's a speedy trial, so they don't have a lot to get through. I don't know if they'll get any of her family members that might have seen any interaction with them, or I don't know.
Now, Carolyn, did I read somewhere that her family aren't going for the death penalty? Is
according to the first prosecutor. No, he said he wasn't doing it because her family didn't want that.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I did read that.
Kevin says
Kevin, a
charmer.
charmer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
The way he looked before, he didn't really look like a charmer, but...
No, I was thinking that.
No, he lost a lot of weight, right?
Yeah, he looks totally different now.
Yeah.
And you can see on his neck they're self-inflicted wounds.
Yeah.
You don't even have to almost measure them up.
So,
Yeah, but they did say they were very severe, and he could have bled to death. That's what you heard, that right, Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the cop said. But who knows? He could have been playing the game. I don't know. Just because the cop said that, he was very pale, weak, appeared to be weak, like he probably just lay down, like he tried to act like he was attacked. You know, he lay down and just he probably.
But is that is going to be his defense again? That it was self-defense, but then it's self-defense, and he hides in a bush after he kills her. If it was self-defense,
no. What I think he's going to say that he was attacked and he barely survived, and he was laying in there almost dead.
Yeah,
And
that
so-
doesn't make sense because she was killed in another area of the neighbor's yard.
You know, I read somewhere that someone claimed that they stopped even looking for anybody else once they found him.
Yeah, that's what they said. Well, that's what the defense is claiming, that it was
That's
over
the genetic
and there was
what
somebody else,
defense
and
is
of
that?
course, and they're just banking on the fact that if they do the speedy trial, that maybe the prosecution won't be able to prove their case and he'll be acquitted. You were glued to what a circus. Yeah, that was a circus, right, Vicki? It was Daryl Brooks' trial, yeah. It truly was.
Well, if they can bring up his record from before.
Well, yeah, if they can bring that
he's
up,
probably
then
done.
that's going to be done because it's just, yeah, how unlucky are you that the
Yeah.
same thing happens? You have two women that attack you, so instead of maybe that you're the attacker, yeah, both times.
And the wounds on
That's
him,
right,
they're
Kevin.
probably
He'll try anything.
they're probably going to show up to be where they could be self-inflicted. I bet.
Yeah. Right, and he's going to try anything, and the prosecution already said that the medical examiner is not going to be able to tell you 100% that Kay Baker's wounds couldn't have been self-inflicted, but she's going to tell you that on his wounds that there was hesitation marks, which are going to show that they were self-inflicted, but not to 100% certainty that they weren't. I mean, his wounds, not hers. I'm sorry, I'm talking about him. She can't tell you with 100% certainty that the wounds on his neck are not, like, she can't tell you that they're 100% self-inflicted. But she can tell you that there's hesitation marks.
I mean, like he kind of like.
And when
"Oh,
you
this is
stop,
gonna
because
hurt."
like, you
Stuck it
stop
in.
because you're,
Let me go the rest of the way.
yeah, and she could tell you that. And that usually, is when something is self-inflicted because the person stops when they feel the pain sometimes
Yeah,
and hesitate for a minute before they finish,
Maybe
and do something. So,
maybe the torture,
what?
Like the small
Nothing-
woman
the torture.
appears to have escaped
Torture.
out that window
Yeah, but they're not
from a locked
worried.
door.
Something
Locked one side, window open. And he finds her. So you
Yeah.
got the locked door. The police have bashed that down and seen that.
Right,
open
and the
window.
bathroom door is all splintered and bashed down. Yeah, so
Yeah.
who's doing that? She's doing that, and he's hiding in the room and jumping out of the
Yeah.
a window. Yeah, I think there's like no chance in the world, even if they don't even introduce the other stuff, that he's going to be found not guilty. I don't see how that would ever happen at all. At all. And
Come on, Rocky. Rocky, Billy. Rocky. Rocky.
yeah. Hi, Janae. He could have run away, but he just had to kill her. I'm not buying it. Yeah, when he already, sat in prison for 3+ years and then gets out 5 months and is already, that's his first thing, yeah. Didn't really learn too much. Kevin says he's going to say anything he wants so he can try and charm his way out of it, right? Yeah, I don't know how. Does anybody know what he did for a job? Does he just, what
I
could he
haven't
have
found
done
that,
in 5 months?
But
What
I
could he have
got
done?
much deeper.
Yeah, I don't know what he could have done. And I wonder if, I guess, her friends and everybody knew who this guy was, and I don't know, they were all, let me see what he did. See if I can find out what he did.
Hi, Roberty Bob. I hope you're doing well today. Hi, Vicky. I won't even try and butcher your name, sweetheart.
I don't know, I can't see anything. I haven't seen a Florida man's trial.
Hi, Kevin, Sharon, Linda, Janae. Hi, Nicole.
Trial for first, yeah, Tampa. Let me see if I can find out something here. Let's see.
Hi, Lisa L. Debbie L. Hi, Kelly.
Here,
Margot.
let's see here. Let me see something.
Hi, Heart. Hi, Chris Reed. Hi, Nana T.
A witness who was at the bar with defendant Matthew Mary. Yeah, I mean, this is how he's looking now. cord.
Hi, Pamela Patrick.
Very, very different, right?
Hi, Jeanette.
And hi, Jeanette. Wondering if the final text message was actually written by Kay Baker or Michael Terry. I think that's right.
He looks different.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
I think that's intentional.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of. I mean, from here to there, he's lost a lot of weight.
I think the glasses are to make him look very different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, was it the Scott Peters? No, what was the case? The staircase? They put glasses
Oh, yeah.
on him to make
The
him look.
staircase. Yeah. Let's see. Please. Okay, so let's see. There is some stuff here. Let's see what we can find out anything here. Michael Robertson Terry. I swear he was going to move through. No. Can't see anything about former Marine. Now they're seeking a former Marine. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. Former Marine. Did he have what kind of a discharge? I wonder what happened in the Marines. You know, I wonder what went on there. If he had dishonorary discharge or anything like that. It's like very few things on him or even on that trial. Ex-Marine stabbed his girlfriend, nearly decapitating her in a violent rage and left her to die. I wonder what he did. This is. Let's see. The Piggins venture outside. Yeah, that's everything we've already gone over. The issues. Yeah. See what goes on there. Has anybody in the chat, any of you that are watching, how long as a teacher? No. Yes, she's the math teacher. He's not the math teacher, Kevin. I'm wondering what he did. She's a math teacher, a math and science teacher for the 3rd grade. I'm talking about him. I can't find out what he did. He's an ex-Marine, yes, but I don't see what he did for work, unless he didn't work. I don't know. He was only out 5 months. Janae said she probably thought she could change him with love, but that doesn't work. But she was even warned by the ex-girlfriend that about what happened, and sent photos, though I can't find a picture of Michelle Rogers. Let's see here. Virginia was Virginia. No, I can't find that, so I don't know what he did. Matthew Robertson Terry. violent past. He had start. Okay, here's what happened to her. Okay. When the call came in on Saturday night, Michelle Rogers was at her mother's house in Michigan with her 2 school-age sons. She knew the number. She knew something was wrong. She stepped outside with her cell phone so the boys wouldn't see her react. He did what? She started to panic, couldn't breathe. She feared this was going to happen, but she still couldn't believe it. News reports said he had gotten into an argument with a woman at a Valrico bar and then killed her, inflicting severe upper body trauma. Hillsborough County detectives described the scene as horrific. I tried to warn her, Michelle Rogers said. I tried to warn everyone, but no one would listen. This didn't have to happen. 5 years earlier, Matthew Robertson Terry, 47, had started fighting with Michelle Rogers after getting drunk on St. Patrick's Day. He stabbed her in the neck 7 times in their Lansing, Michigan home. He beat her head against the floor. He broke her nose and a molar and bit her face. She said she still doesn't know how she wriggled away and screamed loud enough for neighbors to call 911. She spent 5 days in intensive care. Lawyers got his attempted murder charge dropped to attempt to inflict great bodily harm. According to Michigan Department of Corrections records, he was sentenced in December of 2017 and was discharged from prison on December 29, 2021. Rogers said he served 3 years in prison and 1 on parole. She begged the parole board not to let him out. He's a very sick individual who should not roam in society, she wrote. Mr. Terry is dangerous and will hurt another person. It's simply a matter of time. Except the next time, the person might not be as lucky as I was. Michelle Rogers was so scared she moved to another state. A year later, Matthew Terry was off parole and moved to Florida to be with a woman he had once dated in Michigan. I kept telling her, please don't let this happen to you or your kids, said Michelle, 41, but she wouldn't believe me. Hillsborough deputies haven't released the name of the woman found at the murder scene. We know now as Kay Baker. Rogers said the woman was friends with Matthew Terry, years ago, and then reconnected with him at his 2017 trial. She came up from Florida to support him, and she just kept glaring at me. Matthew Terry is an ex-Marine and a software engineer. There we go. Software engineer. He played hockey, he coached kids wrestling, and he enjoyed spending time on the water. When deputies found him just after midnight on Saturday, he was hiding in overgrown brush off of Lithia Pinecrest Road. They took him to the Tampa General Hospital to be treated for lacerations he got while fighting his victim. He had still not been booked. Okay, let's see. A day after getting the news, Michelle Rogers was angry, frustrated, and shocked, but not really. She said she feels awful for the victim, terrible her warnings went unheeded, and she's relieved that Matthew Terry will be behind bars again, where he can't hurt her or her kids or anyone else. Her head aches from reliving her own trauma, and her heart aches for her son, who hasn't seen his dad since he was an infant. He was supposed to meet him next month. She doesn't know what to tell him. Wow.
Now, the Michigan Parole Board, have you found and read that? How he got off? Only doing the 3-year sentence?
Have I read the letter from Simon asking for more supervision, and no, I didn't read anything from the parole board themselves.
Right, the Michigan Parole Board discharged Terry after he served the minimum 3-year sentence because he had a high parole score for good behaviour and he passed a domestic violence class, a Department of Correctional spokesperson said.
Oh, good behavior. Crazy. Good behavior. Yes, he almost killed, the first girlfriend, Kevin, yep. So, software engineer, ex-Marine. We also have another live stream coming up. Yeah, we're going to talk about the Scott Peterson. There's a decision that's going to be looming. December 5th, I believe, is the hearing on that. And then also about Casey Anthony with the new Peacock documentary. And then apparently she's going to break her silence for the first time ever. So we'll have to see what's going on there. And then we'll check on the Lucy Letby, what happened in that trial. And there's a missing mom and baby in Indiana. And what else do we have? Just some other things that have happened in the news. Let's see. They weren't women in prison to abuse. Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. Let's see. Okay, so. Oops. What does he need? Does he need something? Jimmy? Does he need something? Oh. All right, I don't know. So I don't know how many, maybe a lot of you are not following this. Maybe you will follow it, and then we can talk about it more. It's going to be quick, and I think it's going to be guilty. So I don't think the defense is going to call that many people, maybe. And I don't think he'll take the stand, but maybe he will. Who knows? He got out and killed again. Yep, he did. Yes, he did. But and then there's the skier, something, the extreme skier guy got a verdict today, but I didn't follow that trial. I really didn't at all. Hi, Will Lisa, how are you? Are you watching this trial with Matthew Terry? Will Lisa? The trial kept putting you to sleep today? Well, I kept having technical difficulties with my feed, and then I finally got it, but it was in between a lot of stuff and then running to go vote and all that, so. I didn't look at this. I didn't either. Kevin did not either. And let me just, I think the suitcase, did they continue that again? Let me just see this. Sarah Boone. Let's see. Oh, say it there. That's going to go to January now. That's what happens. Yep. So that was supposed to be November, but it's going to go to January. And what else here? Yeah. Let's see what's going on. Somebody asked me about Tisha. Elk. Trial date for, okay, so Letitia Stalk for March 2023. Her trial's March 2023. March 20, no, not the 20, March 2023. Let's see, so that's over 3 years for that one, and who knows with David, which is the other one we're waiting for. So long to get justice there, right? Alright, so let me put the redirect on this so you can redirect you guys over to the next one. Where's my event? Edit video. Okay. Customize. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Scott Peterson, Casey Anthony, and Lucy Letby in the next one. So I hope you come over and speak with us over there. Let me see. It's gonna redirect you immediately upon when I close this one. So let me just go over here and
If you have a cough, go on for a while till tomorrow morning, yeah.
okay.
Wait a minute. Wait, let me stop it. Yeah, it's really normal.
Okay, here we go. I don't know why it's over here. And I don't know why you're over there. Okay. Alright, so everything has been so backlogged, just starting to open up. Yeah, I don't know. It's nuts. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just gonna end this and take us to the next one. So just follow us over there. It'll redirect you. Technology is not being a friend to me right now. But there it goes. I'll go in that.